What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here. Today I'm bringing you a guide on how to use Slitherwing in competitive Pokemon. This is one of the best new Paradox Pokemon introduced, and if you guys are excited for the video, then of course make sure to leave a like on the video and help us reach our like goal of 100 likes. Comment your thoughts on Slitherwing down below, as well as which Paradox Pokemon you want to see me cover next. And of course guys, subscribe to the channel and help us reach our goal of 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Starting off with its stats, they are nowhere near as impressive as Iron Moth's, its future counterpart. Its stats overall are just fine. It has some good places, but really they're just average, I'd say. Its HP is base 85, which is, again, okay. It's got 135 attack, which is great. It's really strong, of course. 79 defense, 85 special attack, you're not really needing it at all. 105 special defense is really cool, and then 81 base speed. That is lacking a little bit. It's 570 overall. I just think that the stat distribution kind of was done poorly for Pokemon like Slitherwing compared to Pokemon like Iron Moth, which is so much better distributed in my opinion. As for its typing, it is Bug and Fighting. It shares the typing with Heracross. This Pokemon has weaknesses to Fire, Psychic, Fairy, and to Flying 4 times. It resists Fighting, Ground, Bug, Grass, and Dark. And Fighting, Ground, and Dark are all really good offensive types in today's metagame. So it's awesome that you have a Pokemon that resists those types that you have on your team. As for its abilities, it only has the one. That's going to be Photosynthesis, which is the mirror for Quark Drive. This Pokemon has an ability where if it's in the sun, or if it has a boost for energy, its highest stat gets a boost. If it's a attack, defense, special attack, or special defense, that is the highest stat, it'll get a 1.3 times boost, so 30%. And if it's the speed stat that has the highest, it'll gain a 1.5 times boost, which is basically the equivalent of a Choice Scarf. That's really solid in certain situations, and it works well on Pokemon teams that have access to things like Torkoal, so really good overall. As for some moves this Pokemon has, obviously you have the main move here on its fighting stat being Close Combat. Insanely powerful, 120 base power, loses you your stats in defense and special defense by one stage after use, but that doesn't matter. This Pokemon is going to be hitting as hard as possible with 135 base attack. Close Combat is a great addition. Then you have its Bug Stab. It has 3 solid options here, all of which can be run on basically any set. You have access to Lunge, which is just consistent damage that has a 100% chance of lowering your opponent's attack stat by one stage. Think of it like Mystical Fire, but for the attack stat. Then there's Leech Life. Leech Life is great because you got the buff in the previous generations, and now it also recovers back HP, obviously, and you're able to just recover back health while taking a lot of damage from maybe like a Life Orb or something. And then there's U-Turn. Obviously, having momentum is amazing, but having momentum that is stab is also really good. Then it has First Impression. First Impression is priority, only on the first turn, but it is still technically for priority, which is good. I think that overall, you're going to see a combination of those 4 bug moves on basically any set for the Slitherwing. Then for coverage options, Earthquake, great option. Zen Headbutt, Flare Blitz, Flame Charge for speed boost. It also has access to Wild Charge and Acrobatics, which would be good in certain situations. Trailblaze to give you a speed boost and hit bulky waters as well. And then it has access to support moves like Will-O-Wisp, Stun Spore, Morning Sun, and Bulk Up. Bulk Up is one of the best moves in this generation, as we've seen on a lot of different Pokemon, and honestly, Slitherwing can make it work. Now for some partner Pokemon, some Pokemon that pair really well with Slitherwing. You're going to start off with Glimmora. One of the reasons why I really like a Pokemon like Glimmora is because it sets up hazards really effectively, but also does a really good job of breaking through opposing fairy types, and it pressures opposing flying type Pokemon, which are some of the biggest weaknesses that Slitherwing has. So a really good combination to start right there. They also have a physical and a special combination, which is really nice. Then we have Cyclizar, because this Pokemon gets you the Shed Tail into your Slitherwing. Behind a sub with Bulk Ups up, you're really hard to break down. I think that this is going to be a very common pairing we're going to see, because Cyclizar, while it is weak to Ice, it is weak to Dragon, it is weak to Fighting, and it is weak to Fairy. The fact that these Pokemon, they work together, even though they have some common weaknesses, is still really nice. Then you have Meowscarada. It's the first time I'm including Meowscarada as a good partner for Pokemon for something, but in reality, it pairs well with a lot of different Pokemon. But what I think that it works really well with is because the speed tier that they have and the fact that they are kind of able to counter each other's checks is really, really nice. Then we have Armarouge and Sarilege. I have both of them over here. Why? Well, they have immunities to fire, and Slitherwing destroys dark types for them. That's one of the reasons why I felt like it was good to add both of them on this list. We then have Goldengo. Goldengo resists every single type that Slitherwing is weak to, and Slitherwing helps beat up on the dark types and the ground types that are going to be trying to switch in and beat down on Goldengo. Obviously, fire types are still something to worry about, but you do have ways around them on both of these Pokemon. And then finally we have Garchomp. The reason being is they're both able to pressure fairy types really well for each other, and I think the combination of these Pokemon with the speed tier is really effective in a lot of spots. Moving on to the best Terra types for this Pokemon, I'm going to start off with the Steel type. The reason being why I think this works really well for Pokemon like Slitherwing is because you naturally resist ground and fighting, which Steel is weak to. Yes, you're weak to fire, but that's fine. I don't think there's going to be as many fire type moves coming your way in this current metagame compared to fighting and ground type attacks. Now, Who's going to go for those moves against you at the start? No one. No one will do that. So you have Steel now to help break through fairy types, and you don't have to worry about, at least on the first turn, taking a super effective attack unless it's going to be fire. Then the other Terra type I would pair with is going to be Flying. This Pokemon here gives you a ground immunity, which could be kind of nice, but it also powers up a booster energy boosted acrobatics, which is really strong in certain situations. Overall, it's one of the best combinations to have. We're seeing a lot with Pokemon like Roaring Moon, so I think that Pokemon like Slitherwing can take advantage of it as well. Now for some great items on a Pokemon like Slitherwing, I think the best item bar none is going to be the Booster Energy. That's almost always going to be the case on a Pokemon that are going to be able to use it, really. I think in general the Booster Energy does a lot of good things for Pokemon like Slitherwing, allowing it to switch up its moves while getting the Life Orb boost basically while not taking any chip is really advantageous. Then we have the Choice Band. Choice Band off base 135 attack is nothing to laugh at. Such an insanely hard-hitting Pokemon that's going to do a lot of good things, and the fact that you have Recovery and Leech Life in general is really good when a metagame is dominated by Dark-type Pokemon. Then we have a Choice Scarf, which works well for this Pokemon. In general, I'd rather have other items, but I get the appeal of running the Choice Scarf. The issue is it's not that fast naturally. It's only base 81 speed, so there's going to be other Scarfers that are going to be able to outpace you, and that could pose a problem in a late game situation. Then there's a Life Orb. Again, Life Orb works really well, just like the Booster Energy, getting your boost in your attack stat. The issue is you're taking the 10% in chip, which could kind of hurt you, but you don't have to worry about it with the Booster Energy, but this one does make sense because you don't have to worry about only using it one time. And the last one is Heavy Duty Boots. The reason why I like this so much is because you're not weak to rocks, but you don't resist it either. You're going to take spikes and you're going to take toxic spikes, and there's a lot of hazards going around right now, so having a way around those things is really good on a Pokemon like Slitherwing. Looking at some movesets for this Pokemon, we're going to start off with a Choice Scarf set. We're running Max Speed, Jolly Nature with U-Turn, Close Combat, Leech Life, and Earthquake. You're able to hit a lot of good Pokemon with this coverage, and you're able to break through a lot of the metagame and have momentum with U-Turn to get into advantageous matchups. Then we have a Booster Energy set here. We're running Close Combat, Acrobatics, Leech Life, and Earthquake with Terra Flying, which is really solid in a lot of spots here. You'll get the attack boost here with the Booster Energy, but overall, such an amazing combination of moves. And if you're able to get a +1 boost from like a Flame Charge, maybe running Flame Charge over something like Earthquake, it could be really good. Then we have a Life Orb set here, also running the Jolly Nature, U-Turn, Close Combat, First Impression this time for priority, and the Wild Charge to break down opposing bulky waters. And the last one here, I have a really interesting set here. I actually have 11 attack IVs on this set. That means at level 100 and at level 50, you're able to make it so your speed stat is higher than your attack stat. The reason for this is because we're running a Booster Energy set, so you can have the boost in speed, you have Leech Life for recovery, Close Combat for big damage, Acrobatics with Terra Blast Flying, or Terra type Flying rather, and then you have Bulk Up as well. So you're getting your attack boost, you're getting your defense boost, you're getting recovery back with Leech Life, and you get a speed boost as well when you enter the field. This could make some sense depending on how the metagame shapes up. Now the last thing we do on these guides here is cover the predictions we have for the Pokemon in the metagame when the dust all settles. So starting off with the Smogon metagame, we're going to say this Pokemon is going to be an OU Pokemon. It is a great breaker. The only issue I have with it is that there are better fighting types in the format. Annihilate, Great Tusk, Iron Valiant, Quackaball are all better in my eyes. So I think we'll see less play overall, but I think it'll actually be banned from UU, and because of that, we'll see it settle in the OU tier. As for VGC, Bug kind of sucks. That's the main thing. It's not the best typing overall. There are better fighting types again, and it'll be great in Sun, which is a good thing, but I think that it's not going to be as good as other Pokemon that have the access to photosynthesis. That's the problem. I just think it's outclassed. That's the issue I have with it so far in OU and VGC. As for Draft League, this is on a 17 to 18 point scale, and this is my specialty. I think this Pokemon will be around 14 to 15 points. And the real reason for that is because it's able to break incredibly well. Its speeds here, while it's not the best again, and it's not as useful as a Pokemon like Iron Moth, its counterpart, I still think that having the speed tier base 81 is really good. We still see Pokemon like Mamoswine and Heracross doing a lot of work. This Pokemon has similar speed to Mamoswine, the same type as Heracross, and I think that overall it makes a lot of sense to have this Pokemon being this high up on the list because of its great coverage options, its powerful moves, and its great ability in photosynthesis. And that's all I've got for you guys today on Slitherwing. If you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like on the video and help us reach our like goal of 100 likes. Also, make sure to comment your thoughts on the Pokemon down below, as well as which Pokemon you want to see me cover next. Also, guys, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel as well. We have like 80% of the people that are watching this that are not subscribed, so it'd be awesome to see you guys join our community, join the ocean, hit the subscribe button, and help us reach our goal of 3,000 by the end of the year. I also want to give a big shout out to our YouTube channel members. Their support is really appreciated. Our level 1s are going to be Liv, Eric, Zeke, Texas Man, and our level 2 is Tone, and our level 3 is Sully. They all went above and beyond and supported the channel financially, and if you want to do so as well, click the join button down below. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all tomorrow.